So I get asked a lot how to incorporate mindfulness into everyday life without having to meditate. I have clients ask me a lot how to do this, and I'm going to show you a tool today that's a perspective taking tool that can help you with that. The formal name for what I'm about to show you is called the ACT Matrix, developed by a guy named Dr. Kevin Polk. So this is a very useful tool in helping you to understand the connection between your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, your bodily sensations, understanding how those then influence your behaviors to either behave in ways that are very costly to you in terms of relationships, resources, cause a lot of drain on your life, or do you engage in behaviors when you're struggling with stuff internally that's very challenging in ways that reflect your values, things that make your life rich and meaningful and add value to it? So this is what this tool is all about, is helping you to distinguish what shows up internally that you're struggling with, and then which way do you go with it, which you're able to kind of detect patterns through a use of a tool like this, which can be really, really helpful if you want to get unstuck out of some unhelpful patterns that you might find yourself in. So I pre-filled it. I chose just the current situation that we're in to base my answers on, but this tool can literally be used for any challenge, any problem that you're struggling with, any context. It's broadly applicable. So I just wrote down some of the things that have been showing up for me as my life has changed, like everybody else's, since the pandemic. So let's get started. I'm going to walk you through this. One quick thing before we get started, though, I want to explain what these words mean: toward and away. So just think of towards as you're moving in the direction of a life built off of values, of the things that are meaningful and important to you. And away means you're moving away, you're engaging in behaviors that move you away from the person you want to be, the way that you want to respond in any kind of given situation. They, like I mentioned earlier, they have a high cost in terms of resources and energy and effort. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start at this lower right hand quadrant, and we're going to move clockwise. The first question is, who and what is important in your life? And this question serves to get you thinking about your values. So values can be people, it can be traits, qualities, it can be places, it could be things. So take a moment and think about what that is for you right now. What is important to you? So some of the things that are important to me are my family, my children and my husband, friends. Some traits that are important for me to embody are patience, kindness, honesty, being present with the people in my life is really important to me. I didn't put this on there, but health is very important to me. I'm very much into exercise and eating healthy, and just generally trying to make healthy choices. So health is also really important to me. So once we've identified that, we're going to move over to this lower left quadrant and look at this question: what unwanted internal stuff shows up inside? So what shows up inside of you as you are trying to move towards this stuff over here in life? As you're trying to show up to the things that are important to you, the people that are important to you, well, a lot of stuff shows up. A lot of stuff, especially right now. Anxiety shows up for me, frustration, anger, sadness. What bodily sensations show up? Tension in my shoulders, that's where a lot of my stress shows up. Rapid heartbeat when I'm having times of anxiety. When I have thoughts, like I get stuck in thought loops, like I'm not showing my kids enough attention because, right, like a lot of parents, we're having to work from home now and our kids are at home, and so it's creating a lot of tension between our obligations and what we got to do, and trying to divide that up and trying to keep kids occupied. Some of my clients who are extremely stressed out by the situation that we find ourselves in. I at times feel inadequate as a therapist. If I were more skilled, I could better help this client, is a thought that comes up sometimes when I see a client that is in a whole lot of pain or a lot of suffering. So all of this stuff shows up inside of me. Very challenging stuff. Probably you can relate to some of that. So the next question we're going to ask, when this stuff shows up, whatever it is that you've identified shows up inside of you, what away behaviors do you do? Remember, away is moving away from a life full of values or reflective of your values. For me, that can be snapping at family members. That can be emotional eating, making unhealthy food choices. It can be skipping my workouts. It can be browsing social media too long as a way to numb or distract myself if something's bothering me. It can be engaging in perfectionistic behaviors in an attempt to control my environment, or that feeling of inadequacy, trying to get better or perfect at something, the perfect therapist, the perfect parent. So it can come out in compensatory behaviors like perfectionism. So all of that's really costly if I engage in these types of behaviors and I'm not aware that I'm doing it. So now let's think about, what types of towards behaviors or healthy coping could I engage in? That could be exercise. That could be engaging in breathing exercises to ground myself. That could be meditation. That could be apologizing to a family member that I snapped at or lost my patience with. And that could be self-care. That's really important for me right now. If I'm not taking care of myself, I can't take care of the people around me the way that I want to. So you can probably see by asking yourself these 4 questions and moving through how this could help you become more aware of behaviors that you might be engaging in as you're reacting to the stressful situations that we find ourselves in. It can be very autopilot, reactive modes of behavior that if you're interested in getting unstuck or finding other ways of behaving and showing up to it, this could be a great tool for you. You are right here in the center of this. When you get right here, you're noticing all of these things. You're noticing what's important to you. You're noticing what shows up when challenges show up. You're noticing what you do in response to those. And you're also noticing what you could do instead. And when you can get in the center and notice all those things, you're being very present and very mindful. And when we're coming from that stance, we tend to make choices that are more reflective of a rich, full, and meaningful life, and showing up as the people that we want to be and that we choose to be, rather than these sort of autopilot responses that we get into when we've been under stress for a long time. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. Please drop any comments below in the comments section. If you decide to give this a go, let me know what you noticed about yourself, or if this was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.